I'm Lori Buckley and welcome to my channel, Lori B Pottery or Clay Dates. And I call it Clay Dates because my goal or dream was to do clay dates with fellow potters, friends, family, and to record it. And I'm going to be doing that. I'm just looking, I see a bug on the window. Hold on. Okay. It's a spider and he's outside. But this morning, just as a little side note, Amanda will appreciate this because in my kitchen, I saw a little brown thing. I didn't know what it was. Thought maybe it was a little gift from my cat. It was a newt or a salamander. Wasn't a red eft, but it looked like one. I'll show you a picture. I took a picture. Anyways, freaked me out. I didn't know what it was, but I was able to nudge it into a bowl and get it outside safely, and he ran off. So that was interesting. Okay, so I digress. Anyways, welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, because I've learned that only 25, less than 30% of you who actually watch my videos have subscribed. So please subscribe if you are enjoying the content and you want to see more. I know my last video I said was going to be my last kiln reveal, and that the next one would be live and would be a kiln opening. No kiln. I still don't have my kiln. It was supposed to be here 2 months ago. I called Clayscapes, who I purchased it from. I kept following up, when am I going to get my kiln? Oh, it's going to be a couple of weeks. And I kept hearing it was going to be a couple of weeks. Finally, I called in and I got out, well, we don't know. We called L&L and we don't know when we're going to get it. And at that point, you know, it's been over, well, almost 4 months. And so, you know, this is a big deal, and I know you all can relate to that. This is, first of all, getting my own kiln is huge. First of all, it's a huge investment, but it is also a dream come true. It's something that, oh gosh, I've anticipated it, I've hoped for it, dreamed of it, and the fact that, I mean, I had to move to be able to have one. And put electricity in. I mean, it's a lot that goes into it, as you all know. And it just was incredibly disappointing. I also have my very first market ever coming up in December 5th, 6th, and 7th. It is the winter market at the Sonoma Community Center. So if you're in the area, please stop by. My very first one. So I'm getting ready for that. No kiln. So I've been making a lot. I had to just go back to the community center, thank goodness for the community center, and be able to fire some things. So I have some things. I thought I might as well show it to you. The kiln, I was told, I did finally call L&L directly, and I said, what is going on? I just want to know when I'm going to get, or when I can expect my kiln. So first he said, well, it's going to be another 10 to 12 weeks. I'm like, what? So I don't know what happened. I don't really care. Somebody dropped the ball somewhere, but he said I would have my kiln in 3 weeks. That was 2 weeks ago. So next week, next week, maybe they mail it next week or ship it next week. I don't know, but that's what I'm anticipating. I also did a short saying it's finally here. Some of you thought I meant my kiln. I didn't realize that nobody knew that I had ordered a big giant slab roller because I didn't tell anybody. You may have seen my disaster of an experience with the small slab roller, which I learned to use and learned to love, and loved it so much that I realized I want to do more hand building. And now that I have the space, since I moved and I have a garage, because I needed the garage so I could have the kiln, I thought, well, gosh, I wish I would have got the big slab roller. And so my neighbor, who's also a potter, said, well, sell the one you have and then buy the big one. Still quite an investment, but I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. So I did. It didn't take that long, actually. It probably took, I don't know, only 2 or 3 weeks. So it didn't take nearly as long as other things that I've ordered, but I am using it like crazy. Actually, before I sold my other one, I didn't know when I was gonna get the new one. So I made a bunch of slabs. I think I made like 6 giant slabs, and I've made a bunch of big stuff. So you'll be seeing that in my kiln opening, which hopefully will happen soon. So lots of really cool stuff happening with the slab roller or my hand building. And in this video, I've experimented with a lot of new things, and I did some Jungle Gems combinations. I got some mini things. You may have seen my short on the shaving cream. If you haven't, check it out. I'm going to show you that. I love it, by the way. Okay, where am I going to start? I'm going to start with the things that I don't love so much, but you know, interesting all the same. So this is, I don't have a light on. I'm trying it without the light, and I actually think I've got light from outside. I think it's working. This is made with a jig from Alexandria Pottery. Alexandria Pottery, am I saying that right? So, you know, it's my first one, so I'm getting the hang of it. I watched somebody, who was it that was using the jig and also had some trouble? Oh gosh, it might have been Sarah. I think it was Sarah who made some bowls. Sarah Hallam, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's a learning curve, but it's a cool thing. So this is a cappuccino mug. This is, I do want to show you something though. This is bee mix with speckles. Now you might be saying, that looks a lot like dragon fruit that I use a lot of, but I want to show you the difference. So they look, I know they look very similar. This is dragon fruit. It's a little whiter, a lot more speckles. It's dragon fruit light, actually. This is bee mix with speckles. It's not quite as white, not quite as many speckles. The speckles are a little bigger. I don't think it's ilmenite. I'm not sure. I have to check that out. But I really like the bee mix with speckles. Kind of cool. Okay, so what kind of glazes did I use? This is new to me. I've never used it before. As a matter of fact, this is the very first time. Well, that makes sense. I just said that. This is Amaco's Celadon Aqua. And the reason why you see all the speckles, that's because of the clay. Again, I kind of love the speckles. I don't know. But interestingly, it's a Celadon, right? So I used a Celadon intentionally because this mug had texture on it. You can see some of it. I used from Coal Mountain Pottery, one of their rollers. It's their hippie roller, which I love. It's got a peace sign and happy face and flowers. You could see it a little bit on the bottom. But the Celadon actually covered it up, so I don't know why. Anyways, I did 3 coats of Aqua Celadon, and then I did 2 coats of Spectrum's Soft Red, which I haven't used much of. It's okay. It's actually kind of cool. I don't know if you could see right there where the seam was, it was a crack. It didn't go through, and what it was, I mean, it was just a superficial kind of crack. So I dremeled it and I made it even so there's no more crack, but now there's a big gouge. So I think, and I'd love your input on this, this never happened before, but I think I can cover that up with a bunch of glaze. It's not a crack anymore, it's just a divot, I guess I would say. Can I just cover that up with glaze and refire it? I mean, it's, you know, why not? So let me know. So we've got that. I've been experimenting with making some coffee pour-overs. And now, why does it have 2 holes, you might ask? Well, I think you might have already guessed, because the first one I put wasn't in the middle, and I thought, well, I'd rather just have 2 rather than have one that's off center. But you know, I think it's okay. The colors, though, are gorgeous. This is also bee mixed with speckles. And he really shows the speckles. So this is, it's hand-built. And you can see the seam in there. That was intentional. Actually, I got this tutorial from Jessica Putnam Phillips on Clayshare. And she's got some great stuff, by the way. I've learned a lot from her. So that's where I got this, this from. Did I get a template? I might have actually printed a template, but she's the one who likes to keep the seam there. There's no ridges, but there's texture. I've made about 3 more that you'll be seeing in the future. This is 2 coats of Cirrus Flow. That's Amaco's Cirrus Flow. That's a flux. And then on top of it, on the whole thing, I have 2 coats of Aurora Green, which is also Amaco, right? Aurora Green. No. Aurora Green is Mayco. I know that. And then on the rim, you can't really see much, but I did do 1 coat of, I guess it does show, you just wouldn't know what it is, of mixed melon. I love the combination of Aurora Green, Cirrus Flow, and mixed melon. I use it on mugs a lot. So you do actually see some texture in this one, right? You'd think you'd see it more in the Celadon. So I love the Cirrus Flow, Aurora Green, and the mixed melon with on the rim. So that's my coffee pour over. There's something in here that I think, Nat, if you're watching, and I hope you are, you're gonna be very excited about. two of your favorite jungle gems put together. You may have done it before. What I did is I went on to, actually, again, Sarah Holland talked about this, but it was before she even talked about it. I was watching one of Mayco's little short videos that they put out, and they were talking about their website, what a great resource it is. And you know what? It is. It's a great resource. And so I went on there and I just did a deep dive into different jungle gems, and I screenshotted, I don't want to say screenshot because that doesn't sound good. I took screenshots of some of the combinations, and I've tried a few here. Kind of exciting. Okay. Oh no, I don't know what this is. I'm gonna have to put this up here. This one, I don't know why I missed it, but this is a reclaim. You could tell there's some blue dragon fruit in there. This is a flop bowl. So this was originally supposed to be a butter keeper. It wasn't working. So I thought, oh, I'll make a mug. And that wasn't working. And then it just turned into a flop bowl. And you know, it collapsed, and then I just took it on the bat and I held it upside down, put it between two chairs, and I love it. It's small. I'd like to do a big giant flop bowl. I haven't done that yet, but I would like to. I do know it's got winter wood, a couple of coats of winter wood, and I don't remember what I put on top, but I'll put it on the screen. But it looks kind of cool, right? Yeah, flop bowl. Gotta love it. Thank you, Nat. Okay, moving on. This I made for a present, a wedding present for a client of mine, whose kitchen is blue and yellow. So I wanted to match that. And I did sapphire float. I did 3 coats of sapphire float on the bottom. I did 3 coats of sunbeam on the top. Sapphire float is Amaco, sunbeam also Amaco, which is one of their fluxes. And then I did a band, I guess you would call it, of winter wood, 2 coats in the middle. But yeah, I hope they'll like it. But yeah, it was specifically made to match their kitchen. I'm going to put something else to go with that. Okay, so speaking of Amanda at Red Eft, she has suggested that with Night Moth, I put it on top of Raspberry Mist. Both are Mayco, right? Mayco. Raspberry Mist is Mayco, and so is Night Moth. And Butterkeeper, I'm not going to make butter keepers anymore. I have about, I think, 4 or 5 that need to be glazed. I don't know. I did put sodium silicate in wax. I put that on the bottom. Apparently I didn't put enough. Although, okay, true confession time. Here's what I'm going to tell you. When I made it, it fit perfectly when it was wet, right? On the wheel, fit perfectly. Used my calipers, used my ruler. Everything was great. Actually, even after I bisqued it, no. When it dried, and maybe I didn't let it dry enough, but anyways, it wasn't fitting anymore. It was leather hard. I was going to trim it, and it wasn't fitting anymore. So I made this really, really thin so I could get it to fit. And I did get it to fit. And it did fit when it was bisqued, when it was bisque fired. And I got out of the bisque fire, and it was great. But I think because it's so thin, that's why it warped, even though I put on the sodium silicate. Okay, so I've got 2 coats of raspberry mist, and I've got that, well, I've got winterwood down here, and then I've got raspberry mist up here, and then I've got Night Moth that overlaps. It overlaps, but it's also by with the winterwood. So it overlaps the winterwood and the raspberry mist. But the inside is just raspberry mist and Night Moth, but where you can see it the best, and it does look really good, is you can see it in here, and you can see it here. So it is a really good combo. I like it a lot. And so now I have another ramekin. Now, here's what I've come to discover. So I have these failed butter keepers quite a few actually. And I've turned them into ramekins. Anyways, I've kept a bunch of them. And you know what? I use them for everything. I use them for ice cream. I use them for nuts, for snacks. I just find myself, instead of a bowl, because I don't need a big giant bowl, I just find myself reaching for these ramekins. So I'm going to sell a bunch of these at the winter market and on my store when I reload my store, restock my store. Right now there's nothing in stock anymore because I've taken it off. Yeah, I'm going to start anew. I never advertised it. I sold one thing to a friend, so nobody ever saw it anyway. So everything's been taken off. I'm going to completely revamp it. But yeah, any guidance would be greatly appreciated. So that's that. And this is on, yeah, this is on dragon fruit. Also, I think reclaim. Okay, now this, I'm going to show you this. This is probably one of my favorite things I've ever made. I hand built this mug, and this was made during a clay date with a fellow potter, an actual really talented potter. Anyways, I did some really great texture on it. I want to say this might have been another roller from Coal Mountain, their floral one. I'm pretty sure it's theirs. And inside, by the way, is textured kiwi, which I had never used before. Textured kiwi is Spectrum. Never used it. I just wanted to see what it was like. This is on bee mix with speckles. Yeah, there's not as many speckles for some reason. But anyways, so I did the shaving cream technique, and check out the short. But basically, you get a bunch of shaving cream. I know Nat and Trace did one, but a bunch of people have done them, and you can find a bunch of them. So I sort of went down that rabbit hole. But I had seen it done before, and I loved it. And I thought, that'd be fun. I want to do sort of like a tie-dye look, and I thought that would be fun to try. So you just get shaving cream, put it in like you can put it on a piece of tin foil, you can put it on a table. I put mine on a sheet pan. And you just make it flat, put a bunch of it, spread it so it's flat, put a bunch of underglaze, and then twirl it around with a stick. Well, you don't even have to twirl it around with a stick, but that makes it kind of tie-dye and interesting looking. And then you just roll it in. You roll it in, the color, and then you rinse it. And strangely enough, the shaving cream comes off, but the underglaze stays on. I have another piece that looks even better. Another failed butter keeper. But then I could have just put clear on it, but I decided to do, was it the ice or glacier? I think it was ice. Ice on the top, Celadon, and then I did, and this is interesting, I did cherry blossom on the bottom, and you're gonna see cherry blossom again in just a second. Usually cherry blossom does not look that pink, right? Most of us say, gosh, you don't really see the pink when you do cherry blossom. But that is clearly pink. So I believe I just did 2 coats, so it shows. And I do like that textured kiwi. So, and oh, got to show the handle, because the handle is pretty spectacular. So shaving cream technique, fun. Okay, also shaving cream technique. Another failed butter keeper. This one was close, it was so close. Look at the top. This was covered in cherry blossom also. And on the speckled buff, not speckled buff, I'm sorry, bee mix with speckles. But look at this. So I covered this whole thing in cherry blossom, which I think is kind of cool. I didn't do the inside, also textured kiwi. Cherry blossom. I mean, it is clearly pink. I guess it just works really well on this clay. So I guess it depends on the clay you put it on. So I got another ramekin. You can't have too many ramekins, I say. I'm kind of into the whole ramekin thing. I gotta clean that up. So, yeah, but look at those colors. I used kiwi underglaze. So, pretty great, right? Okay, we're getting to some fun stuff. Okay, this is pretty basic. But the colors are gorgeous. I love sand and sea, but I had never used sand and sea on a light clay body. This just looks like, it doesn't have any speckles. This looks like regular bee mix, but I don't think I have any bee mix. It must be reclaim. I don't know. It's white. Oh, I do know what it is. I do know. I went to East Bay Clay and bought some clay from a guy there named Michael. He makes the clay. He's pretty well known around these parts. Everybody knows him. He's the clay guy. And it was called Meath. It's called Meath. I want to say Meath 100. It's a cone 5 white stoneware. That's what this is. There's no specks. Wow. Anyways, this is Sand and Sea, and it's got 3 coats. It's gorgeous, isn't it? And lustrous jade. First time ever using the lustrous jade, but I like it a lot. Anyways, I like the 2 together a lot too. So really pretty. This, originally, when I made it on the wheel, it included this piece. Well, what I did was, I thought, usually I do a closed form and then I put a little ridge, and then when it's leather hard, I cut it. I thought, well, I'm just gonna try to cut it. I'm just gonna, cut it at a diagonal and do the top that way. A lot of people do that. But, me and my lack of patience, it wasn't dry enough. And so I totally screwed it up so it doesn't fit. But I'll show you what I ended up doing with this in just a second. So yeah, so that's just Sand and Sea, 3 coats, and 3 coats of the lustrous jade on the inside. So I love that color combo. Okay, this is a little mini bowl. I didn't make this on my mini Beaver. I made this throwing off the hump. This is on speckled buff, which I love. So this is 2 coats of peppered plum, and on the rim, believe it or not, it's lustrous jade. It sort of turned blue or purpley blue. Kind of a gray purple, I would say, but it's pretty. Anyways, this, I'm not really gonna do this. I just stuck it there. I wanted to show you this because I thought this was interesting. This is 2 or 3 coats. I want to say 2 coats, but it's probably 3 of peppered plum, and I'll clarify. So, and then on top of it, I just did in the center is alabaster. 2 coats of alabaster. Now, that looks really good to me. I want to try a full-on mug with the peppered plum and the alabaster. Now, I've been using peppered plum for a very long time. It's always been one of my favorite glazes. I've used it with snow. I like it with snow. So I thought, well, that'd be interesting to try it with the alabaster. So anyways, I thought, oh, I have a nice little, like a mini casserole dish. But no, I'm not really going to do that. But this is kind of cool. Okay, peppered plum, more peppered plum. I've got 2 more peppered plum things. And then we're gonna get to some fun stuff too. But before we get to fun stuff, I got one weird thing to show you. Okay, so this is on B-Mix with speckles. Now, another interesting thing about the B-Mix with speckles, I don't know if you can see, but it looks like there's silver glitter in it. You probably can't see it, but I promise you, it's glittery. Not always. So strange. Okay, so what do I have on this? I love that sound. We've got soft, yes. No, it's not soft pink. This is pink gloss. So we've got pink gloss in the middle. And again, you're seeing the speckles because of the clay. And then I also put it all over. I did 2 coats of the pink gloss, so it's all over. Now, I fired this together, no glaze. I fired it in one piece. Now, does it look as nice? I don't know, I don't mind it actually. Okay, anyways, 2 coats of the pink gloss, and the pink gloss is by Mayco. And then I did 2 coats of peppered plum on top of it. So that is peppered plum on top of the pink gloss. Yeah, it looks kind of cool. And I scaled it back. So I think I just did the 1 coat going down, and I stopped so it wouldn't run. So there's that. Okay. Now, many of you probably know what this is. I'd never seen one of these, never heard of these, but an acquaintance friend sent me a picture and says, have you ever seen these? She's on the East Coast. And I was like, no. It's called a hand warmer or a pocket mug. This was the first, was this the first one? It was either the first or the second one I made. I don't know. Anyways, I thought I'm gonna try to make one. So went to YouTube, did a bunch of research. Actually, no, this was hand built. So you can see the texture, I put a foot on it. And I don't know what color that I wiped back, but I put on a green underglaze. I think this is also the Cool Mountain floral roller. So I put some green on, wiped it back, and then I did 3 coats of marigold. I did alabaster on the inside, and I thought, oh, I don't want alabaster on the inside. That doesn't go, that doesn't make sense. So then I did fog on the inside, and then I thought, oh, I don't want fog. I want to do aqua. So then I put a coat of aqua. So I've got, I actually think I have 3 coats of alabaster, 2 coats of fog, and then I have 2 coats of aqua. Now, it looks like it crawled, but it's fully glazed. It's just there was so much glaze there. But it's all sound. This is a seriously big mug. It's left-handed. I'm left-handed. You have to, when you make these, they have to be specific because if it's right-handed, it needs to be on this side. I do think I made one right-handed one. We'll see. I don't even know. I know I have another left-handed one. So I actually like the marigold, though. I will say that. Okay, I do have a frozen pond coming up in just a second. Small frozen pond. I'm trying to think what to show you. I want to show you the least interesting and move my way up. Okay, another peppered plum. This is winter wood, the bottom, and peppered plum, the top, and they just overlap a little bit. There's no flux, no nothing. It's just that. On the inside, it's yellow corn silk, coyote corn silk. You can't even really see it. This is definitely dragon fruit. So I believe it's also reclaim. So yeah, so we've got 2 coats of winter wood and 2 coats of peppered plum. I think it's 2 coats. It could be 3. Anyways, I'll let you know. But yeah, and I got the dimples, which makes it so much easier to hold. So I like that combination a lot. Okay, we are almost done. We're getting there. Okay, I got some really cool stuff coming up. Here are 2 things that I made that have the same glaze combination, different clay body. This is on speckled buff. This is a mini bowl. I love these little mini bowls, these little mini things. This is a spoon rest. Both of these are chinote and night moth. So that's all it is. It's 2 coats of chinote, 2 coats of night moth. So I think you can see that. It's actually really pretty. I like it a lot. And I didn't do it I left that raw. This one has chinote all over, and then I just did night moth to where you can see it stop. But then I did a band of oatmeal. It's hard to really see what the oatmeal did. You can see a little teensy bit, but really pretty. So night moth on top of chinote. I like it. I think I'm going to do more of that. What do you guys think? I think it's a good use of the night moth. Okay, this is a hand-built mug. I'm pretty sure I haven't shown this to you guys. It's just been so long since I've done a kiln reveal. This is the hippie roller from Coal Mountain again, and it's got boogie pink in the middle. And oh gosh, I believe it is boogie pink and amaryllis, but it might have something else. Okay, again, I will let you know. But you can see, you can see the piece and you can see some of the texture, but it's a little bit covered. But I love this mug, the texture on the bottom, speckled buff. So it just feels really good, and I love the colors. So I know there's amaryllis and I know there's boogie pink, but there might be a 3rd color in there. So there's that. Okay, now we're getting to my favorite stuff. First, I'm going to show you my frozen pond. Little frozen pond. I did not do the best application. I was watching Jeanette from Far Forest, her and Nikki. I can't think of the name of the company that Nikki's with, the forms. Anyways, she was showing her how to do one of my little price stickers with no price on it. Anyways, she was showing her how to do a frozen pond, and I was like, mine didn't look like that. But I did an okay job. I'll show you a picture. I did take a picture of it. I've got 2 coats of Albany Slip Brown everywhere. And here it's just Albany Slip Brown. I didn't put anything over it. I love it. And then I did, with the sponge, I did a bunch of dots with the running hot chowder, of course. And again, I didn't do the best job, but I did. And I did some on the outside, just on the rim. And then I did 1 coat of Amaco Iron Luster. So Albany Slip Brown is Amaco, Iron Luster is Amaco, and Running Hot Chowder is Spectrum. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's beautiful. Turned out really nicely. And this is on the B-Mix with speckles. I see some silver in there. Like, it's like silver glitter. It's so strange. It's pretty. Anyways, I want to have to do that on a big bowl, which I've made a bunch of big bowls lately, so they're coming. Okay, these 2, same glaze, different clay body. These are 2 jungle gems mixed. What's that jungle gem? Or what are those jungle gems? So this is on Speckled Buff. This is on Dragon Fruit Light. We've got 2 jungle gems. You're never gonna guess, so I'm gonna tell you. I have got 2 coats of Maroon Lagoon. Now I got this from the Amaco website. I don't know if it looks the way it's there. Pretty close actually. So 2 coats of Maroon Lagoon, and then 2 coats of Mixed Melon. Come on, isn't that great? Oh my God, I love it. I saw this when I took it out of the kiln. I was like, okay, I am loving that. And I think they're pretty close on the both of the clay bodies. Obviously this is much bigger, but I want to make sure you can see that. Yeah. Pretty great, right? Okay. This is a jungle gem. You know what the jungle gem is, but I don't know why it's black in the middle. I don't know. This is on Speckled Buff, Laguna Speckled Buff. This is 2 coats of poppy fields, inside and out, and then it is all over, although I must not have gone all the way to the middle. No, I did go all the way to the middle. I thought I couldn't have gone all the way to the middle, but I did because I looked at the picture. I take pictures along the way. Pearl white. So 1 coat of pearl white. Why the middle looks like that, why is it black, and why is it not white, I don't know. But I love it. Do you love it? I love the bowl. I mean, that's kind of cool, right? I love that one a lot. I'll show you one more time. So 2 coats of poppy fields and 1 coat of pearl white. So I don't know. You know what? I believe the pearl white is just in the inside because I think I was afraid it was going to run. But yeah, so we got that. Okay, 3 more mini things, and then the piece I don't love, but the glaze combination I love. So speaking of pearl white, this is pearl white. That's all that is on the Speckled Buff. But apparently pearl white on dark clay bodies, although it's sort of medium clay body, turns sort of blue. So pretty. I haven't used much of the pearl white, but yeah, I like the way that the color turned out. Isn't it cute? It's so cute. Oh, by the way, these are made off the hump. These are not the little teeny ones I made on my Weaver wheel. I'm gonna fire those myself as soon as I get my kiln. This is the pink gloss. I have it inside and out, and I have 2 coats of the pink gloss, and then I have 2 coats of mocha marble, jungle gem, mocha marble. It looks blurry. Make sure you can see it. Maybe I'll take some pictures and show them on the end like people do. I might give that a go. I really want you to see this. Looks like it's blurry. When people do that, it seems to work. Oh, it does work. It does work. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Fantastic. Mocha marble on the pink gloss. That's pretty, right? Okay, I'm going blank. I know this is Albany Slip Brown. And I'm trying to remember what I put on top of the Albany Slip Brown. But anyways, it's Albany Slip Brown all over, 2 coats. And then I did something on the rim. What did I do on the rim? I don't know. I want to, it's not, I'm pretty sure it's not ancient copper. It's not peppered plum. I don't know, but I will let you know. But it's cute, right? So Albany Slip Brown and something on the rim. Okay, here we go. The last and final piece, which, not the best piece because I can't get it to fit, but we've got 2 jungle gems and I am in love with this combo. This is my favorite in the kiln, this kiln mode. Look at this. Okay, that, I know you know what this is. Guess those jungle gems, I know you know. You may have done it. I don't know. The inside is just Purple Rain. So we got Purple Rain on the inside, which is pretty spectacular all by itself. Again, I got this from the Mayco website. Purple Rain with ink spots. I mean, it's amazing, right? Am I crazy? Am I overstating how fabulous this is? I mean, it's pretty fabulous, isn't it? I love it. I love it. You're going to be seeing this again. So you might be thinking, Lori, get some of that grinding paste and put that on here, and then that'll make it fit better, right? Because it's just not fitting the way I want it. Well, here's the thing. I use the grinding paste. I ground this thing with every inch of my soul. I was grinding. I was sanding. I even took it to the disc, the grinding disc from Diamond Core. I thought maybe if I make this a little shorter. I ground and I sanded and I pasted. Trust me, it was much worse before I got to this place. It's so close though. I think I might, with a little more, give myself a little rest for a few days and try it again. But I mean, I'm going to keep this piece. Oh, and it ran like a mother. I had to grind that, but it's perfectly soft and smooth now. I could grind it more. I could do better, but this is something I think I'm just going to keep this one, but I'm going to make more. So that is my kiln load. I know it's been a long time. Please subscribe if you're liking the content, if you're liking what you see. If there's anything you're inspired by, let me know. If you have any suggestions, jungle gem combos, I've got a bunch more I'm going to do. And hopefully next time you see me doing a kiln reveal, it will be a kiln opening. I have a video that I'm making now, mono printing. I've already filmed myself doing the mono printing, but I don't like it. Tell me how you feel about this. When people show them making something and you don't get to see the results. Now, Cozy Sheila Ceramics, that's different. She does her stuff, although I don't like waiting. I'm not very patient. But we know she does all of her stuff, which is, I love her videos. I love you, Sheila. She just gives such great information and tips, and she's just fabulous. So she does her stuff, and then we all know, then she goes to the studio or where she goes, the center, and then they fire it, and then she shows us. That's different. I'm okay with that because we know that's the way it works. But there are some people who will make stuff and we never see it. We never see the end result. And I hate that. So I'm waiting to show my mono printing video when I have it actually fired. It's still drying right now. What a fun thing. And if you're interested in mono printing, or if you don't know what that is and you want to know what that is, go to Pottery Corner. I think her name is Sarah. She hasn't done a video in quite some time, which is a shame because those of you who are watching, I think probably know who I'm talking about. Her videos were fantastic. She's fantastic. I don't know where she went. So if you're watching this, Sarah, she introduces her studio, where she lives or where she's from, but she rarely says her name. I think it might be Sarah. But she has a 3-part monoprinting video that's spectacular. And so I rewatched it. I think I probably watched it about 3 or 4 times and made my slabs and got to work. And it is fun. So anyways, you'll be seeing that soon. But other than that, the kiln will be here in the next week or so. I certainly hope so. I do. I like to be a patient person, but it's hard sometimes, you know? Anyways, I so appreciate all of you who are here, who are watching, who are teaching. I'm learning so much still, always, from all of you. Like, we're always learning, right? That's why we love this. Oh, and Sarah. I know I'm talking about Sarah Hollum a lot. Sarah Hollum and Therese Delalund. I think I maybe got that right. I mean, there's so many. I hate to mention a couple because, you know, I love so many people. Sheila, we already mentioned, you know, Jeanette, Audrey, Nat, oh gosh, Red Aft. Oh gosh, there's so many. Oh, Kay from Mud Souls. There's just so many, and I don't want to leave anybody out, and I know I'm going to leave people out, but there's so many people that I love. But Sarah, you just did a short, I'm going to get teary-eyed, talking about how grateful you are and your epiphany of just being able to make pottery and how meaningful it is. I was going to do a response short, but I'm just going to talk about it now. I know you are watching, and if you're still here, you're watching because you love pottery. You either are a potter or you appreciate what pottery is. It's hard to put into words, but Sarah, you did a good job, and I know that we feel that way, and that's the community. We all understand what it means to be able to make stuff. We also know how hard it is and how satisfying it is and what it takes financially, time-wise. We pour our hearts into our work, and it's not a negative. It's such a wonderful opportunity and a wonderful thing, which I just discovered at the age of 64. I'm now 65, almost 66 in January. So I discovered it late in life, but I know there's a lot of you who also discovered pottery late in life. It was never too late. And I can't imagine my life without it. So I got a tear. Anyways, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Sarah, for putting that information out there. Thank all of you for watching and for being here. If you haven't subscribed, please do. You know, it's so important to us, that support and encouragement. It just feels really good. And hopefully I'll be seeing you soon when I get my kiln, or maybe before. Okay. Appreciation. Bye, everyone. Oh, wait a minute. I almost forgot. Keep going, keep learning, and keep playing. And that is so important. And I don't even know if that's the best direction, the best order to put it in. But you know what? Maybe it's keep playing, keep learning, and keep going. But we need all of those to do what we do. So don't forget to do those things. Okay, bye, everyone.